whoever using. Okay, so that's what I found out from doing that validation week. So the past week is all about validation, and the main thing is I validated that people actually buy microphones. So today we're going to go into how do we move on in the marketing skill? How do we move on to the next stage of marketing and selling, right? USB microphones. Chin on, which microphone you are using like right now, right? I'm using a Rode, what is called that? A Rode NTG, something like that. I can't remember what mic is that. It's not actually a USB microphone, but what you're hearing now is from a Rode NTG something. Okay, let me just type it down for you. It's called a Rode NTG. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, and we're going to go into two sort of marketing, right? So what I did last week was known as outbound marketing. Very simple, the one on the left. Okay, I've not censored their name, so sorry for that. But outbound marketing looks something like the one on the left. Okay, outbound marketing is where I go to people and say, hey, would you want to buy this? I'll cold call them, I'll message them and say, hey, I'm looking to sell microphones. I remember you said you want to look for a microphone. Hey, are you still interested? So this is outbound marketing. Outbound marketing is being like a salesman going out there and talking to people and trying to find a problem that you can solve. Okay, now the reason why I did a bit of outbound marketing and a bit of outbound sales is because I want to gauge if people are there to buy a microphone, right? So it looks something like left. You can see that I've approached this person by the name of Ben and say, hey, are you looking for mics? Right? He said no. And I say, okay, no problem at all. But hey, what do you normally planning to use it for? I'm trying to probe from some questions and some problems that you might have, and then look at the way to go and solve that problem. Okay, that's a lot of outbound marketing, and you probably receive people approaching you like that. You might even hit that kind of stuff. Now, inbound marketing, on the other hand, is when this sort of thing happens, right? This person by the name of Wilson, he says, hey, I'm looking for this microphone. What would you suggest for a starter? So I didn't market to him. He came to me. So that's a quick difference between outbound and also inbound. Now, for most of you who are business owners, you might immediately say, I love the inbound marketing because this guy he wants to buy a microphone already, and this is my ideal client. I don't like doing outbound marketing. Okay. Now, if you go through the difference between outbound and inbound, let me just go through quickly with you. Yeah. So, okay, the cons to outbound marketing, right? I'm not saying that outbound marketing is bad, but the cons to outbound marketing is customers are not looking for that solution. Whatever you're selling, whether you're selling microphones, whether you're selling something on e-commerce, you go out and talk to someone, they're not looking for a solution. And you might also interrupt people within their busy day, right? You remember when I did the outreaching, not many people reply back to me immediately because I am in some ways interrupting them with something, right? It's also seen as salesy and pushy, right? So you might say like, Reuben is a salesman, he's trying to sell me something. I don't like him. It aims at reaching as many people as possible. So if you know a company that actually does a lot of outbound marketing, they will be working by numbers. We contact 100 people and our closing rate is 20% or whatever, right? Now, outbound marketing is difficult to scale. It's easy to get started, but once you get to a big scale, it becomes difficult to scale. And that's why you see B2B companies, Salesforce, all those companies, they hire a whole team of outbound salesperson to just go on calls and just look at, reaching out to more customers. Now, inbound marketing, on the other hand, right, really means pros, yeah? Well, instead of going to customers not looking for a solution, you're reaching people looking for a solution. So like in the example I showed you before, right? Now, instead of interrupting people, you're looking to build relationships. It's not seen as salesy or pushing. It is a more organic thing, and it costs less to execute. All right. Now we also know, yeah, ourselves included, most people prefer to get information organically rather than from ads. Like when we see information or when we learn about something organically, that becomes more trustable compared when we see something on an advertisement. This company is paying money to show us something on an ad. Must be not true, lah, right? And the thing about inbound marketing with content marketing and more, we can eventually go viral if we do if we get lucky or if we do it the right way, right? Now, I'm not saying that you should go for 100% inbound marketing and no outbound marketing. I believe in the ideal world, you would have a mix between outbound and also inbound. All right, so you're going to keep that in mind. Now, here are some pros about outbound marketing. With outbound marketing, it's faster to see results. So for example, if I'm selling a microphone, I don't have to, create a website, take one whole month to build a website, build a social media page and then put my microphone out there and then hope someone will buy my microphone. No. So with outbound marketing, I'll just go out and say, hey, do you need a microphone? If you want, buy it. So it's faster to see results, right? It's also more predictable in a sense that you don't have to put out something and then pray and hope something comes in. It's more predictable because you're reaching people actively, proactively. It's faster to implement. We can implement it in the next 5 minutes or so. Okay. Now with inbound marketing, there are also some cons, right? Now we all know that inbound marketing is a long-term game. If you are new in business today and you decided to do inbound marketing, it will take you a longer time to see results. And number two, it's not 100% mechanical process. What I mean by that is, you come across gurus, people like me who says that, oh, inbound marketing is the best and all that, right? And you just have to follow a system. You create this content and and basically what happens here is, right, you can do all the things right. You create content, you build a social media page, you have an email marketing list, or and still things don't come as you want. It happens, right? It happens to me as well. So it's not 100% a mechanical process. It's not like you create 100 content and you have a 20% conversion rate. Nothing like that. With outbound marketing, yes. With inbound marketing, no. So that's the cons of inbound marketing. And that's something that we have to realize as business owners. Okay. Number three, it's time consuming. A lot of business owners today, these days, rather than spending their time working on their business, they spend their time creating content, which is a little bit silly because your business is the one that is important. But then instead, they spend most of their time going to creating content. So as a smart business owner, you have to look at ways to outsourcing that content process, especially when you begin to scale. And that brings us to the next problem, which is when you begin to scale, it requires expenses. It gets expensive when you scale because when you create content on a bigger scale basis, you have to hire a team, you have to outsource that team, you have to look at doing that, and it takes a lot of cost. Okay, so those are the pros and cons between outbound and also inbound marketing. I believe you should do a mix of both. Okay, not just one side. So don't believe in someone tell you, oh, outbound marketing is dead, do inbound marketing. Nah. Okay, do both. Okay, my advice is for you is to both. Okay, so for today, we're going to talk about and go into building an inbound marketing system. Although I'm telling you that you should do both, I'm going to be focusing more on inbound marketing this session. Okay, so Noreza, that's a good question. Yeah, so I'll answer that in a while. So I'm basing today's session on selling a microphone, and being a business owner just like you, So you just put yourself in my shoes or imagine you're me, okay? So now, in the past week, I've validated that people actually buy microphones. So how do I reach the right people right now? I can't be scaling and going out to people and messaging all of them, right? I have to build a system to reach people who wants to buy a microphone, okay? So when you talk about marketing, you come across this silly little funnel thing looking a lot, right? And a lot of marketers and gurus will say it's about mathematics, it's about funnels. Just build a funnel and the sales will come. Uh, yeah, that's the funnel you're looking at. So the funnel never change. It's always the same. It starts from awareness, engagement, and then conversion, right? Okay, so I turn this into a simpler one, yeah. Okay, so same thing. We have awareness, consideration, and conversion. So I've changed that into awareness, consideration, and consume. Consume, same thing as conversion. Okay, and then I added two more things: need and also share. So this is important, yeah. With the old traditional way of doing funnels, a lot of people, okay, you might even still believe this method, yeah. A lot of people will tell you to reach as many people as possible in the awareness stage. Run ads, go on stage, run a billboard ad, let people see, and then as you get more and more people, you funnel them into the ones who become customers. Now, I believe in the total opposite of that, right? Instead of going for the mass market, we go for the right customer audience. All right, so when it comes to the funnel, okay, that there must always be a need first. For example, if what's your need? Now, maybe my need is I have to get a haircut. Yeah, my hair's a bit messy. You see all this white stuff here. I have to get a haircut. So if I have to get a haircut, then that's a need. Okay, so there must always be a need first before you can create a market. So too many business owners, they jump into the funnel before doing that validation thing. And that's why they don't actually validate if someone wants to buy their product or service. So there always have to be a need first. So in my case, I have already identified that, yeah, there's a need for people buying microphones, right? People actually want to buy microphones. So then we move to the awareness stage. Now, how would our customers, right? How would my customers find me and be aware about me, right? How would they know that I exist? So this is where we're going to be focusing on today. I mean, when you talk about how would you know you exist, you might say, oh, we just run some ads. Yeah. And that's also correct. You can run some ads on Facebook, you can run some ads on Google. And of course, the only downside to that is you're already spending money for that, or you're taking a small risk for that one. Then we move into the consideration side or the funnel. Now, once they know that you exist, like for example, all of you here today, 50 plus of you, you know that Reuben exists. Reuben sells microphone. Now, why should you choose me? Why should you buy from me? Because you like me? Because you like what I'm selling? Why should you choose me? So the same thing happens to your customers. When they get aware about your business, they will be considering and say, why should I choose you? Why are you so special? Right? And we have to figure that out. Now, once they choose you, if they choose you, they will start consuming or becoming a customer, right? So let's say you bought a microphone from me, you become my customer. After consuming, after using my product or whatever service I'm providing, would you love me? Would you like Reuben and would you recommend Reuben to the others? Right? So that's a consumption stage. And then we come to the sharing stage. The sharing stage is maybe you become my customer, right? You use the microphone that I recommended for you to buy. You bought it, you use it, you see results, and then you became a super fan. You tell other friends and family and say, hey, you want to buy a microphone? Go find Reuben. He's the best person out there. So in most businesses, we are looking at this sort of like funnel, right? And I'd like you to design your business around this little funnel here. All right. And we're going to be actually doing some marketing exercises around this thing today. Okay, so let's move on. Now, coming back to my case study. Again, put yourself in my shoes, yeah? Now, what would someone with a need for a microphone do? I'm going to put this question to all of you here. You can answer me in the chat section, okay? Let's get some chat going. What would someone with a need for a microphone do? Let's say I'm someone, I'm looking to buy a microphone. What would I do next? What would I do? What would I do? Come on, let's hear some answers. Okay, as you put down your answers, I'm looking at your questions earlier, yeah? Some questions I'll answer later on, okay? Is Facebook Live considered inbound or outbound marketing? Facebook Live is considered more towards inbound marketing, I would say. I mean, you're not interrupting anybody with that live, right? But when you run ads of it, then yeah, it becomes outbound marketing. So you're doing a mix of that. So if you run ads for your upcoming live, you're doing a bit of outbound, and the Facebook Live itself is more inbound. So you're doing a mix, and that's great. Okay, let's look at some research here. So you can see Noriza, sorry, Noriza said okay. Justin said research, yeah, and Kuma added on and say Google it up. Tony Wong said Google, KL say search online, find more info, Google about it. Ask a friend about recommendation, okay. Research or ask friends for recommendation, ask friends, survey for it, find niche market. Maybe look at YouTubers, DJs like Kanduri and Kavin. Kanduri. Research or ask friends. Barry says, search on e-commerce marketplaces for pricing. Barry is looking for price. That's great. Asking experts and friends who related to audio music industry. Also good. Cash say finds info, research, and Shopee. Ask someone who is electronic items. Go to the gadget store. Okay, so a lot of answers here. Read reviews. Read reviews. Okay, a lot of answers here. Now, one thing I want you to notice, right, is a lot of you said Google, which I would say that's a bit of research, right? And secondly, a lot of you said reviews and also ask someone or ask an expert. Okay. Have you noticed that? I mean, this is not planned, yeah? I'm just asking all of you blankly, what would you do something if you need a microphone? And most of you said, Google, research, look at reviews, YouTube, ask an expert. It's all within that same team here, right? Right? Okay, so that's what most people would do if they're in a market for, to buy a microphone. So coming back to our little funnel here, there's a need to buy a microphone because maybe they want to improve their presentation audio, right? All right, so what do you do next? They'll go, you said that you'll go on Google. People start Googling. You said that, not me, okay? You go on Google, you go and ask some friends who are experts, you go look at some reviews, you do some research. And most of this research is done on Google, right? So if I'm a business selling a microphone, what should I do? What should I do? Simple, right? I should go on Google, right? Because I know people are searching for it. I know people are searching for, the best microphone for training on Zoom, review on this particular microphone, and some of you would go into e-commerce stores and look for the best price, right? So to create awareness about the existence of Reuben selling microphones, I would have to go and, appear on Google, right? Okay. Now, why would they consider me once they found me? Let's just assume that they'll be able to find my site on Google. Why would they assume and get it from me? Now, most of you, and in fact, one of you said e-commerce and look by price, right? Now, most customers, if there's no difference in the market, let's say there's 10 microphones and there's no difference between them, they'll look at price. Most people will buy by price because price is the most common lens that we have been drilled since young by our parents to look at. Money not easy to earn, the knock on our heads, right? So we are always shopping by price. Most people would do. Now, as a business, it's a bad idea. Let me repeat, it's a bad idea to compete by price. The worst idea ever in the market. Why? Because there's always going to be someone who is willing to go out of business faster than you. So it's always a race to the bottom. You sell $300, I'm going to sell it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and you never have a good life after that. Okay, so most people would buy by price. So in order to circumvent that, right, we have to create an offer that customers cannot refuse, but it must not be a price offer. Okay, and this offer is something that nobody else can do. I'll show you some examples and I'll ask you to think about your own business to come up with some ideas in a while. So don't worry about that. All right. So assuming that once they choose me, will they love the product and service, right? Will they love using the microphone? And finally, will they tell other people about it? So as a business owner, can we make an environment where people will love what we provide, whether it's a product or service, and then also tell people about it? For example, if someone were to buy a microphone from me, they will obviously use it for the content, right? Now, maybe people will start noticing the new microphone in their videos, for example, and their audience will start asking them and say, hey, what microphone are you using? It sounds good. And they'll probably say, oh, I bought it from Reuben. So that's the effect I want. Okay, so if we can create something creative around that, then we will have a market build out of this little business here. So that's the plan that I'll be going for in the next 1 month in this case study. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go into a bit of practicals today, and just to keep you on the loop, just to refresh you, we are in creating awareness stage, all right, in this little stage here. Let me just draw this. Okay, we are in this awareness stage here, okay? So we're going to create awareness, and because all of you said Google, do some research, I'm going to show you a few ways of using SEO to, bring some awareness for people who are researching the market for a USB microphone, okay? Any of you who don't know what is SEO? Just a quick question before I move on. You don't know what is SEO? Let me type this down. You don't know what SEO is. It's okay if you don't know. I will explain to you what it is here. Tahu sikit-sikit, that's great. Don't know. Okay. So you learn a bit of SEO, don't worry. SEO is a huge topic, but I think most marketers overcomplicate the thing. Okay, overcomplicate the thing. You don't have to make it so complicated. We keep it simple. That's all we need. Tahu. Aku nak makan tahu juga. Okay, so the next step, right, is to figure out exactly what our prospects are searching. Prospects meaning people who are interested to buy, okay? So three steps here. One is to search forums and discussion boards. Now, I always start and I recommend you to search forums and discussion boards first. Most people will go and jump into keyword planners and keyword tools. Now, you don't do that. Go into forums and discussion boards and get exactly what people are searching for first. Okay. Now, second thing you're going to do is to take note of the keywords they use, right? And number three, we'll do further research on some keyword tools. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go into my Google Chrome. And if I'm moving too fast, let me know, yeah? Okay, so SEO. A lot of you do not know what's SEO. I think most of you know what's SEO, okay? So SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Basically, what it means is, if I were to search for, let's say, Reuben Zheng, do I appear up here? Okay, I'm appearing up here, so my SEO for Reuben Zheng is good. Okay, if I search for marketer in Malaysia, Reuben Zheng does not show up, right? So I'm not optimized for marketer in Malaysia, all right? If I search for tahu in Subang, tahu, yeah? Who comes up here? So that is SEO. So basically SEO is the process of optimizing your site so that it shows up online for certain keywords. Okay, so that's basically about it. And I want to show you how to do a bit of SEO because most of you said people will search for something like this: USB microphone for Zoom, right? And then they'll look at all these things here, right? So how can I show up here? That's the question right now. Now, first thing to do is to look at what your customers are using to search. So the first thing I'll do, and I'll recommend you to do, is to go into places like Loyat, go into places like Quora, go into places like, all those answer and question websites, maybe even Reddit, yeah? So I'm going to go and search for microphone for Zoom, okay? Loyat. I'm doing this as how I will do it, yeah. So you catch it along as you look over my shoulder on this one here. So, all right. So I can see, first of all, we're gonna get the idea of what people are searching for. So I can see there's a lot of searches here. Okay, so forum.lawyer.net, right? Decent desktop microphone. Now, this is a big old 2014, so maybe I don't want to actually look at that post anymore. I'll look at something more current, okay? Like what external cam and mic for laptop is best? I'll click on that. Any good and affordable wireless headset for Zoom. Okay, so let me just look at what these people are using and what these people are saying. Okay, so look for more posts. Anyone use Zoom? Let me see. Laptop sound not so clear. Okay. All right. So I'm going to look at some of the keywords that people are using. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Okay, so Sifu sekalian, I think my built-in mic getting less sensitive liao. Macam sometimes need to go near or shout, then only the other side can hear. All right. And I'm not sure to do audio diagnosis. Want to buy external cam and mic? Any recommendation? Good visual and audio, but with reasonable price. Okay. Okay, so what is the keyword here? Anybody can tell me what's the keyword from this guy here? Any keywords here? No keywords? Okay, mic is a very broad keyword. So mic is one, but it's a broad keyword, okay? Thanks, Intan. Mic less sensitive. Yeah, that's a good one. So good quality visual and audio, reasonable price audio. Yeah. So these are all keywords. Now, what I'm picking up here is basically number one. Let me just write this down. Yeah. Built-in mic. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go and get a sheet. Yeah. So I recommend this for all of you who are doing some SEO. Yeah. I'm showing you how I do SEO from the ground process. Okay. So this is my USB microphone keyword research. Okay. Now you're seeing this raw. So I hope it makes sense to you. Let me just zoom in for you. Okay. So built-in mic getting less sensitive. Okay. So this is a good keyword, right? So built-in mic not sensitive. Now, I wouldn't know this keyword until I research people actually using it. And these are people who needs a microphone, right? And most of your customers, they do not know the correct terms that you use. They will use all sorts of funny terms, and you have to identify what are some terms that they use. So yeah, built-in mic is a great keyword here. Need to go near or shout, okay? Need to go near or shout. That's also a good keyword. Okay. Thinking of clip on since it's on the same level as original camera. Okay, that also can be one. Anyway, there's a few keywords that we can take out from here, but I'm just gonna do something simple and just take maybe 2 of these keywords here. All right, thanks for those answers. Good microphone, okay, good microphone. What else? Reasonable price. Okay, these are just all for research purpose, yeah? Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the next one and see if I can get more keywords here. Okay, let's see. Any wireless headset that is good and affordable. Okay. Headset is a little bit different from our microphone, but we can put this down just to use it. Okay. Okay. Anyway, this is a different one. Laptop sound not so clear. When I use Zoom meeting, my colleague complained that my sound not loud, clear. Sound not loud and clear. That's also a keyword. Yeah. Sound not loud and clear. That's a problem. What else? Better buy external microphone. Okay. External microphone. See, I call it USB microphone, but these people might use external microphone. That's a keyword, right? Dedicated microphone. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to look at all these comments, but this is my quick research, yeah? Dedicated microphone. Webcam microphone. Yeah, Barry, that's also good. Webcam microphone. Mic for Zoom meeting. Okay, so we have a few keywords right now here, and these are basically the initial stage of doing keyword research. The first important research is to identify what people are really using, because when we then build our, let's say our website, our landing page or whatever, or our ads, we will use these words inside our ads and inside our landing pages so that people who wants to buy a microphone, they can immediately connect with what we have to sell. All right? Cool. Okay, so the next thing to do is to use keyword tools. Okay, so I'm going to go on and use some keyword tools to show you. Now, there's a lot of keyword tools in the market. My favorite one is Ahrefs or RFs. I'm not sure how you call it, but Ahrefs is not exactly free. Okay, you can start using a 7-day trial, but you still have to pay $7 for it, which can be expensive for some of you. And the pricing is not exactly very friendly lah. It's about $400-500 a month. So I don't recommend you to use something like this. So we're not going to use Ahrefs, but this is my favorite software, yeah, by the way. As an SEO marketer, I use this a lot. Okay. Yeah, most businesses use SMrush, huh? All right. Okay, so some free keyword tools is to use something like Google Ads itself. You don't have to use a paid tool. Trust me, you don't have to use all these tools and then think like you're an SEO pro and all that. You don't have to do that. Okay. So I recommend you to use just the free keyword planner by Google itself. Uber suggests a great one. I'll show you that as well. All right, so I'll show you 2 tools today. So one is to go into Google Ads and you want to sign in. Now, Google Ads is a platform for you to create ads on Google. What sort of ads, you ask? Ads like YouTube ads like the one you see on the Google search engine. So for example, if you go to Google and search for like iPhone, you see all these ads that appear. You see ads, ad. These are all ads, right? So how do you create these ads? You would use something like Google Ads to do it, okay? But what we're going to do today is we're going to use Google Ads for a different version. We're going to use it to look at keywords and the keywords that people are searching for within Google. It's quite simple, in fact. So I'm going to go into one of my account. Let's say, go into one of this account, which is empty. Oh, by the way, if you don't have an account on Google Ads, you have to create an account, and you'll be asked for your credit card. Although you can actually skip that process. Okay, so find out how to skip the process. You don't have to enter credit card to begin using Google Ads, and you don't have to pay anything. Okay. All right. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use tools and settings. Again, there will be a recording, so you'll be able to watch this. Tools and settings, and then under planning, you see that we have this thing called Keyword Planner. So Keyword Planner is a tool for us to research what people are searching for on Google. That's it. Okay. I'm going to click on Discover New Keywords. And then what I'm going to put here is the keywords that we have researched from here. So let's say mic for Zoom meeting. I want to find out, right? If this keyword, mic for Zoom meeting, how many people are searching this keyword and what are some other keywords I can use around this keyword? All right. Since I'm targeting a Malaysian market, I want to make sure that the location is in Malaysia. And then I'll click on Get Results. Okay. So here's what we see. All right. Let me just zoom in. Mic for Zoom meeting has around 10 to 100 searches a month. A little bit small, but we can still play around that. We know that there's a search demand for this keyword here. People are searching around that keyword. That's great. Okay, Zoom microphone, 100 to 1,000. Microphone for Zoom meetings. Also about, so these are all good keywords. Best microphone for Zoom meetings. What else? So a lot we can use here. So the next step, right, is to just collect these keywords here. So like I'm going to take like maybe Zoom microphone. Okay. And we know there's about 1,000 to 1K. I'm going to take this here. Zoom microphones. Let me just make this a bit. Let me just put it down here. Yeah. Give me a moment here. Okay, I'm going to call these keywords. I'm going to call this the search volume. Okay. I'm doing this all very raw, so you see all my process here monthly. Okay, so it's about maybe 100 to 1,000. Okay. Okay, so you do this and you search for the keywords that you want to use within your content later on. Okay. Best microphone for Zoom meeting, 10 to 100. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time here. Just to get an idea of what people are searching for. Again, you don't have to get too granular on this. I know some people will ask you, oh, Reuben, what's the best number? Yeah, is 10 too small? Is 100 too big? Don't go too granular, okay? Don't go too granular. You don't have to do that. As long as we know there's a search demand, if there's numbers here, I know people are searching for it, and that's great. Okay, you don't have to go like, which one should I focus on? It's really quite fine. Okay, 10 to 100 is fine. Imagine you're ranked for all these keywords here, enough already. Okay. Okay, so a few questions here. I'll answer them later on. Yeah. All right. So that's Keyword Planner on Google Ads. Quite simple to use. Now, another tool that I want to show you is called Uber Suggest. Okay, this is suggested by Justin. Okay, so I will show you Uber Suggest. Okay, Uber Suggest is also a keyword tool. So for example, I just take a quick keyword here, best microphone for Zoom meetings. Go back to Uber Suggest. I'm going to put the keyword here, okay? And then I'm going to search by maybe Malaysia or something like that. Make sure it's in Malaysia, yeah, because you're targeting a Malaysian market, and then click search. Okay. Then after a while, you can see, oh, okay, we have about 30 search volume. So yeah, it's quite accurate lah. Around 10 to 100, we're 30, okay? And we can see other types of like, keyword tools as well. I mean, keywords as well that you can use for our content later on. All right? Okay, so I'm not going to go too deep on this one, but any questions so far? Okay, how do you define on the search volume or long tail keywords? Any calculations? So I don't really have a calculation for it. I believe that SEO is more of a science plus art. So I normally don't get too I don't get too anal basically over the number of searches here. As long as I know there's a bit of like market demand there, I'm targeting it. That's it. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so no questions. Everyone is happy. Everyone is good. Go and try this. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my slides here. Yeah. Okay, so we are a bit behind time, so I'm going to move a bit faster, yeah? So we have done and figured out exactly what our prospects are searching for, right? So now, something that you have to understand before we move on is that Google is an answering machine. You ask a question, it shows you an answer, right? You ask, where's the best place to eat tonight? You try to show an answer. So basically, Google is basically an answering machine. So what it does is it sends crawlers. Crawlers are like spiders or robots are basically, and it crawls all the websites that is available in the world. So that when someone search for a certain keyword or a certain question, okay, Google will take the most probable answer and show it to them. Okay, so that's basically Google. Google's an answering machine. So in that sense, we have to create content, and content is not a blog. So most people would think, yeah, when I say, oh, create content, they think of blogs. Oh, we have to create a blog, we have to create an article or some nonsense like that. So content is not a blog. Content is anything that your users expect to find. So for example, if I'm searching for Zoom microphone or USB microphones for Zoom, maybe I'm looking to find an e-commerce listing. That is also known as content. So content is anything that is digitally listed out there on the internet, on social media or whatever, right? So content is not just blog. So put yourself in the shoes of your prospects, right? What would they expect to find? So if I find for microphone for online meetings, mic for Zoom meetings, what I expect to find? Perhaps I'm expecting to find a list of my recommended microphones, right? So the next thing to do is to basically create a content that shows them exactly what they expect to find. Easy? So maybe they will look at finding an article with a list of microphones to choose from, a YouTube video with someone explaining which microphones should they buy, or maybe looking for a list of microphones to choose on an e-commerce store. Okay, so basically what we will do next is we would actually create an article answering the question they search for, like we show them an article with a list of microphones to choose from, or we can post a YouTube video explaining how to choose a microphone, right? Maybe I can create a video and say, hey, this is Reuben, and I know you're looking for a Zoom microphone. This is a great one. Why? And why you should choose this and that, right? We can also list our products on an e-commerce platform to show up when people search for it. The only problem with showing up our products on an e-commerce platform is we are going to be competing with price. Okay. All right. So any questions so far? I hope you see the method we are moving through here. Am I moving too fast? Am I confusing all of you? Okay, Justin, do you agree the statement someone told me before, which you create 30 blog posts or more per month, will get more organic traffic and sales? Yeah, I mean, if you create a lot of blog posts, yeah, you get more traffic, but then would it bring you sales? That's another question. Okay. Now people are smart, so they know when you are creating nonsense content or nonsense blogs. Okay. So far so awesome, so far so good. Pace is all right. All right. That's good. Thank you for that. Thank you for the response. Okay. So far I understand, yeah, we did some keyword research and then we create content for that keyword. Now, I don't think I have time to show you how to create content, but I'll give you some quick tips of doing that. Okay. So when you create content, don't create content for the search engines. A lot of people do that. They'll start stuffing their content for with all the keywords that they've identified, right? Now, people are smart, like I said. They know when you are bullshitting. I'll show you some examples. Your content should quickly answer questions. You know, when you search for a recipe, like a cooking recipe, and the cooking recipe blog content starts off with, last week when I went to picnic, I came across this and that. They tell you a story and then, so your content should quickly answer question, and that's what Google wants. Okay. Now, entertainment sometimes works well as well when it comes to content. And number four, you want to create scheme stoppers because most people want things fast. All right. So let me show you something that is optimized for SEO. Okay. Let me go back to my screen. I'll show you something. I cannot show you step by step of doing this, but then I'll give some tips. Okay, so we are here, yeah? Okay, so let me search for a quick keyword that I think I'm ranked for, yeah? Affiliate. Let me just try, yeah? I'm not sure I'm ranked for this or not. Amazon affiliate program. Am I ranked for this? Oh, I'm ranked for this here, okay? Okay, I think I'm ranked for become Amazon affiliate marketer, I think. I think so. Okay, let me just try. I'm not sure. I can't remember what kind of keyword I'm ranked for. How to become Amazon affiliate. Okay, I'm ranked here. Yeah, number two lah. Not very good, but number two. The lead on that's my site. So what is this rank here? Okay, so if I click on it, I want to show you the content and break down the pieces inside the content for you to identify. Okay, so this is a content that was written early this year. The year's ending. My God. And the content title is How to Become an Amazon Affiliate. Amazon Affiliate for Beginners in 7 minutes. And let me just quickly browse through, the content. Quite boring for you if you don't want to be an Amazon affiliate lah. Yeah. All right. It's not very long, but you get the idea. So why is Reuben ranked up here, and how is it ranked up here? Now, I want to show you a few pointers. Okay. So the keyword is Amazon affiliate marketing. This is a keyword, Amazon affiliate marketing. Okay. Now, notice that in my content here, I have this keyword up here. Do you see that in the URL? Amazon affiliate marketing. So what you're seeing is known as the permalink. So the permalink, you want to put in the keyword that you've identified earlier for one of these things here, no matter what kind of products they do, inside your URL here. So it gives meaning towards what this page is about. Now, a lot of SEO marketers will say, you have to put in the exact keyword here. Don't miss even one letter. You don't have to do that anymore. Why? Because Google is now very smart. They can actually identify what this page is about by just looking at a few keywords here. Okay. Now, second, you can see that in the title, I also put in how to become an Amazon affiliate. So remember, Google is an answering machine. So when someone searched for a question like how to become an Amazon affiliate, who would come up? Of course, a content that shows them how to become an Amazon affiliate, right? It's simple as that. So you don't have to go like, wow, what kind of keyword should I use and all that. You basically have to answer someone's questions, okay? Based on the keywords that they use. Oh, why is my built-in microphone not sensitive? What should I do? Can you create content that actually answers that problem, that question? If you can, and if your content relates to this keyword, it's quite easy to rank, to be honest, okay? That's just SEO in a nutshell. All right, let's continue, yeah? Okay, so we have it in the title. Now let's move on. Now in the paragraph, I also mention things like there are many benefits to becoming an Amazon affiliate, right? And you can notice that I don't actually use the exact keywords, as in I don't put in how to become an Amazon affiliate there. I use a keyword that is related to it, and that gives meaning to the whole content. So that's really just SEO. You don't have to actually put in exact keywords and then optimize it for SEO. That kind of stuff don't work anymore, right? I also have a video here, and the video is great because it increases engagement for people. Okay, and I go detail as well. What is affiliate marketing? I answer that. How does it work? Right? 3 types of affiliate marketing, and then common products you can market as an affiliate marketer, and then I tell them how to become an Amazon affiliate. You see this here? So any questions so far? I mean, I've done it in a very simple way of explaining it, but then I hope you see the method of ranking stuff online. You don't have to be exact. You basically just have to answer questions. Okay? Can, easy, All right, so all of you can do this, okay? You don't need to be an expert in SEO to do this. You can do this. And if you are competing in the Malaysian market, even easier. Most Malaysian companies do not actually do SEO, or they don't spend time in SEO because SEO is expensive, right? Okay, Susan, that's a very good question. How many keywords should you optimize in one web page? Ideally, when we create a content, we optimize for one main keyword, one keyword. But the truth is, your content would rank for many keywords because, well, it stands for a lot of different meanings. So you optimize it for one keyword, but in the end, it ranks for different type of keywords because Google will see this as a different thing compared to what you have in your mind, right? To Google eyes, they might rank this as Amazon affiliate partner. They might also rank this as how affiliate marketing works. So one piece of content can rank for many different type of keywords. That's the beauty of SEO. Okay. All right, so simple, yeah? So basically what I've just done here is I've just answered questions. That's about it. Now, where's the best place to get questions? I'll show you one more, yeah? So all you have to do is just search for how to become Amazon affiliate. Now, where do you get questions? It's always under this section here called People Also Ask. So how do I become Amazon affiliate? Is it easy to become Amazon affiliate? Now, if you can take these questions and answer them within your content, I can almost guarantee you within the next few weeks, your content will rank because you are answering questions that people also ask. And Google wants to answer this question that people are asking because Google is an answering machine. Okay. Okay, Justin's question I'll answer on later at the end, yeah, because that's a more advanced question. Okay, so simple, yeah? Yeah, all right, good. You guys are very smart people. All right, so now my tips for you here are quite relevant. You can see that this is true. So don't create content for SEO engines. People are smart, okay? Your content should quickly answer questions. You can entertain people. Scheme stoppers. Scheme stoppers are basically things that stop people when you're scrolling because when someone reads something, give you a quick one, yeah? When someone reads a content like the early content you saw, let's say like this, they don't read like, wow, 1, 2, 3 like that. They'll they'll do this. They'll scan. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is commission income rates. And they'll scan. Wait, what is this? So you have to create something that stops people from scanning. That's what I call a scheme stopper. Okay? Same as social media. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, so Justin's question, Justin, I suggest a good one. Insert a table content that's good. I can improve on that so that it can easy to navigate. Okay, so this is something that you shouldn't do. Okay, let's quick example. Now, when you create SEO content, don't do stuff like this. These are very spammy stuff. And if you're looking to read this content, I don't believe you actually read this content because this content is just useless. You read this, it's spammy stuff. Okay, so don't create things like this. So the truth is, marketing is about studying your market's behavior. It's never really about the product or service. And why I say this is because what we have done so far is, I'm not even talk about the benefits of this microphone, right? What I've done so far is I identified what is the problem of my customers, prospects, and then look for a way to be there when they're searching for it. And one of the methods is SEO, right? So I know people are searching for USB microphones for Zoom meetings. I'm going to create content so that I show up in front of their faces when they search for it, and then they get to know me. Okay? So what are the next steps? Now, some of you might say, okay, that's great. Let's go and work hard this weekend before the new year and rank something online. But what are the next steps, which is the next thing to do? So you can rank a lot of sites, you can rank a lot of pages online, but still, that does not mean business will come to you immediately. Okay? Now, we have gone through the first two stages. We have identified a need, and then we have gone into creating awareness. The way we created awareness is to rank our articles or rank our site for when people search for something. And by the way, ranking your site does not mean just blog posts. It can mean a page, it can mean a product page as well. It can mean anything that you put up on the internet. Okay. Now we're going to go into the next stage, which is consideration. Now, consideration, we know that most people will buy by price. That's how they are inclined to do so. That's how most people are born or bred, right? We all choose by price. Okay, so how do we circumvent that? So to circumvent that, we have to introduce an outrageous offer, right? Think about, why would people consider you? Yeah, why would they consider you, your product, yeah? Or why would they consider me, buying from me? Why? And this is always on their mind when they look at buying something. Why should I buy from you? And okay, who knows what does WIIFM stands for? Up, up, up. Anybody knows? 3, 2, 1. Nobody knows what WIIFM stands for? Don't know. Oh, yo. Someone should know, right? That's right, Cash. What's in it for me? Okay. So WIIFM is what's in it for me. So most customers, prospects, when they are interested in something, they'll think about this in their minds. Even though they're not thinking of what is it for me, it will be in their minds. Why should I buy from you? What's in it for me? And why should I care? Okay. So for people to care, we have to create an outrageous offer. Not and and the reason for that is because the market is too busy, the market is messy. There are too many people selling microphones out there, and if I start selling this by price, I will be selling a commodity, right? And that's not how most uh, lousy marketers will actually market stuff. Oh, people are selling it for $300. I put it at 250 lah. I take a bit of cut, and then I'll get some business lah. Hopefully that builds my business. That's the worst way, right, to run a business. Because like I said earlier, there will be people who are more willing to go out of business faster than you in the market. Okay. So we have to create an outrageous offer that your competitors cannot do, that it will shock everybody in the market. All right. I want you to think about this for your own business. Now, I'll show you 2 examples of outrageous offers, and maybe that will give you some inspiration to think about your own business. Okay, so all you know Nespresso, right? Who here has a Nespresso machine? I love coffee, so who here has an Nespresso machine or want to buy an Nespresso machine? Intan don't drink coffee. Oh, you got to try it. Okay, Dua have one. Want to buy one. Sarah wants to buy one. Too expensive, but I love coffee. Okay. Tony has an espresso. Okay, so I think Nespresso's offer was amazing. Yeah, I'll show you which one. It doesn't come all the time, but when they do, I think their sales will increase. So I just took an example of this little coffee machine here. Yeah, it costs 1,006, right? I think that's 1,006. Now, do you see that little option in the bottom? Machine for 50 ringgit with subscription, right? It looks something like this. So what they have done here is they have anchored and say the machine costs 1,006, right? So your mind is like, oh, it costs 1,006. Oh, wow, that's expensive, right? And they say, hey, you can now get a machine for 50 ringgit, right? The only catch is you just subscribe to some coffee pots, you know, that the pots you buy, because anyway, you need pots anyway to use with the machine. Now that's an outrageous offer. With this offer, people will just buy. People will just buy $50, right? And using this method, right, they've gotten a lot of customers, right? Now, how many of you, those who have bought a machine, actually bought the machine using this subscription plan? I'm just curious. Any of you? You have bought a machine using a subscription plan instead of buying it outright? No? Wow, you're all rich fellas, huh? Tepi Jalan Waring Sarong. Okay, anyway, this is an outrageous offer. I believe this is amazing. So, this is one example. Okay, now here's a second example. You have probably heard of Sono dates, right? I'm not a fan. Okay, I'm not a fan. I've not tried it, but I think this is also an outrageous offer. Whereas a lot of companies are selling a lot of companies are selling mattress, right? Sono sells 100 nights free trial. Of course, they're taking a risk here, but it's amazing, right? Imagine today you're a new mattress company, and you want to compete with like hundreds and hundreds of mattress companies in Malaysia. How would you do it, right? How would you stand out in a crowd? And I think this is how Sono did it. Like they basically said, "Oh, 100 nights free trial, take it, and if you don't like it, just pay us back or just send us back." Right now, this is an outrageous offer. Okay, so I like you to think, I like you to think of your own business. What is an offer you can create that your competitors cannot do? This will earn you the attention in the market. You're going to give you a minute to think about this before I move on, okay? So the question is, what is an offer you can create that your competitors cannot? Now, all businesses have to create an offer, yeah? If you don't create an offer, you will fall in that commodity business, which you want to get out. Commodity. Don't fall into this. Oh, okay. So Gin On creates a very good example for me to tell everyone, yeah? Now, better service, okay? Better service, customer support, and good product. This is not offers, okay? These are expectations. Okay, better service, customer support, good product are no longer USPs. USPs is unique selling propositions. Okay, they are no longer USPs because these are all expectations. When a customer buys from you, no matter what you do, they expect better service, customer support, and good product. Okay, now an offer is something above that. Right? So for me, everyone is selling microphones. I send someone a microphone for free. That's an offer that people might take, right? I just have to look at designing that offer in a way that also protects my site, right? Now I can package this with a cost as well. Maybe when you buy a microphone from me, you'll also receive a course on how to create better content. While everyone is selling microphones, I sell value. Okay, so what's an offer you can create that your competitors cannot? Think about that for a moment. This is important for your business. Yeah, cash. I will probably make my own coffee. Yeah. All right. So purchase to purchase, money back guarantee, buy now, pay later. Maybe your company offers that. Other people does not offer that. Great. Yeah. But what I'm looking for is something that your competitors cannot create one. Only you can create. Some of you might remember Oxwhite, right? What did Oxwhite do? I can't remember their exact marketing campaign, but it was something like RM1 or RM10 shirts, right? That is something outrageous, right? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Something that's other company cannot do, and they will get shocked, like, wow, you crazy, and they get scared, you know? An offer that is great enough is an offer that scares yourself. Wow, what if I go out of business doing it? So that's a great offer. How about service? I think it'll be different from tangible products, right? Any example? So Sinis has a good question as well. So service, okay, so service, right? We see this in a few service as well. For example, let me just think about one service that consider service, yeah? Maybe Custom. You all know Custom, right? Especially for those of you who are living in the Klang Valley, they have the ads everywhere. So I think this comes to my mind. Custom, we inspect your car and offer you money at no cost. Now that's a service, right? You don't like it? Fine. You want it? We pay your money and buy your car outright. That's an outrageous offer from a company. Okay, that's under the service bracket kind of thing, right? Now for marketers, an outrageous offer, if you're dare to do this, yeah, you get your customers. If not, you don't have to pay us. Okay, so basically, an offer that is good enough or crazy is something that scares you. Okay, that scares you, right? But towards the customer, it is something that he or she cannot refuse not to take. Like if I offer you, all of you here, I'm gonna do marketing for you and get you customers. If I don't get you customers, you don't have to pay. Would you want to do a free consultation with me? You'll probably say, yeah, Reuben, let's try this. Yeah, so that's a great offer that nobody else can do. So for your business, you have to think of one offer that you can create that your competitors cannot create. That's the only way to get attention in this busy market. Free chat and coffee on us. Yeah, that could be one as well. So again, there can be many ways to create offers. For example, to show you something in a lead, right? A lead, right? Lead is basically lead, right? So lead is a tech institute. We teach data science, we teach marketing, we teach web development. Okay. Now we had this bootcamp called Data Science Uncut Bootcamp. You can Google it. You just Google for Data Science Bootcamp, you'll find us on Google. Data Science Uncut Bootcamp. So what happened is we created this little attention grabber. When someone signs up, or not signs up, they apply for the bootcamp, we send them cookies. Right? We send them physical cookies in their mail. So that's something that also can be seen as an offer, right? Something that your competitors do not do, but it attracts the attention of your customers. Okay. Of course, Cash, you have to be able to keep up with the promise. Lah. Of course, it scares you, but you have to keep up with the promise consistently. Okay. Chino, that's a good question. So yeah, your competitor right now, they cannot do. So for example, I do not know. I do not know who came out first with that with an Nespresso thing, right? So remember the Nespresso thing I showed you earlier? It's like $150 for a machine, right? Before that, everyone was just selling the machine. And now Aristo, is it called Aristo? Aristo Coffee? Aristo Coffee coming out at $1 coffee, right? Competitors will start copying what you do. They will start copying what you do. So you as a business, you have to constantly innovate, right? You cannot stay stagnant for just one idea and just be stuck there. You have to constantly innovate. Okay. All right. More chats later on. Let's move on for now. But you can always ask questions. We can discuss more on this, and we can continue debating on this. Okay. So I hope you have an offer you can create. Okay. And the final thing that I want to go through with you today. Let me see. Okay. So just a refresh, yeah. We have gone through the need, awareness, consideration. Now, consideration is important because for someone to consider you, you have to create an offer, right? Then the consumption part is something that I cannot help you with. That one you have to create a good product and good service. That's an expectation. Now we're going to jump into the share portion right now of the funnel. The share portion is where your customers tell other people about your business. Okay, and this gets a bit more interesting because we want people to spread the message about what you do. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we get people to spread our business? Now, in my opinion, the best way to do that is to start a community. Okay, a community. So if you talk about Nespresso, and since we're on the topic on Nespresso, right, you'll see that Nespresso has a lot of these little groups or communities on Facebook, on Instagram, and whatever, right? Any of you are in these communities? No? Okay, never mind. So some of you know that there are communities around sort of like businesses here and there, right? Now the question I want to ask you here today is, you all know Tesla, right? Do you all know Tesla? Or who don't know Tesla one? Like what is Tesla? Yeah, community is very fans. You can say that. Okay. Yes, sir. You all know Tesla, but did Tesla run a lot of ads? Yeah, I say, no, I never seen a Tesla ad before, actually, to be honest. right? But how do you know Tesla? It's because maybe someone told you about it. You talk about it with someone, right? There's a community around Tesla. Okay. Now, how many of you use Canva? How many of you use Canva? Yeah, Elon Musk, correct. Okay, I may use Canva. Who else here use Canva? Okay, so a lot of you use Canva, right? I see a lot of you use Canva. Did Canva run a lot of ads? Yeah, I think Canva runs some ads, yeah. But did you find out about Canva through an ad? I'm curious. Think about the moment you use Canva. Did you find out about Canva with an ad? Is it because of an advertisement? No, right? Laurie said no. Who else? True friends. Word of mouth, okay? No, recommended, right? Okay, so do you see the pattern here? A lot of you using products is not because of a result of an advertisement. And yet, a lot of marketers are telling you to run ads, which are a bit funny, right? So what's going on? Through someone, recommendation, through word of mouth, right? Now, why did word of mouth happen? Because there's a community around it, right? The customers of Canva eventually start telling other people about Canva, right? User-friendly, yes, of course, the product has to be great. That's an expectation. Okay, last one. Did WhatsApp run a lot of ads? All of you here use WhatsApp, right? Okay, who don't use WhatsApp one? Maybe here we got one gung-ho one, don't use WhatsApp. All right, so all of you use WhatsApp, right? I can safely assume that. Okay. Now, did WhatsApp run a lot of ads? You'll probably say no again. And the reason you use WhatsApp is because someone else in the past told you to use WhatsApp. There's a community around WhatsApp. Okay? Does that make sense? Am I making sense here? Am I being too meta? With the metaverse or whatever it is. All right. Yeah. Now you agree with me, yeah? You're seeing the same message that I'm thinking in my mind. That's great. Now, final last one. I know Proton run a lot of ads here and there, but you know Proton X50, right? Did Proton X50 run a lot of ads? You must say, yeah, I think I've seen an ad or two, but not that many, right? Not too many. Here and there, right? A lot of radio ads, maybe, yeah? Okay, and then we also know there's a community, right? There's a community around Proton X50. Okay, does that make sense? So the truth is, right, most great products has a community. Okay, for example, back 3 or 4 years before the pandemic, I bought this little pressure cooker. It's called this Philips thingy. Oh, by the way, I love cooking. I bought this pressure cooker. And then I found out that, hey, there's a community around this pressure cooker on Facebook. It's a Malaysian community some more. Any of you are in this community here? Cooking with Philips pressure cooker by this guy called Sinikan. The group is a bit special. I won't say why, but yeah. There's a community around just one pressure cooker, and that's amazing, right? So the idea here is I'm trying to tell you that you need to build a community. You have to. So here are some thoughts around community, right? Some of you might say, yeah, I don't think it's possible for me to build a community. Like it's a lot of work. It's something that I don't want to build. Okay. And here are some truths. Number one, if you have a good product or service, a community will be built around it no matter what. You cannot stop it no matter what you do. For example, Apple. Can Apple stop people from creating groups? I don't think so. Okay. Number two, if your product sucks, you'll never be able to build a community no matter how hard you try. Yeah, you can build out a community on Facebook and then try to get people to join it, but then people won't probably just care. Okay, so that's the thing about communities. Now, if you cannot build a community, your niche is probably too small. You probably have to find a bigger niche. But like I showed you earlier, even a pressure cooker can have a community. So a community does not have to be super huge, right? It does not have to be a a product or service that is super huge. It can be so niche, just like a pressure cooker, and yet we have 76,000 members in this group. Amazing. Okay. And if you're still saying that, oh, community is not for me, I cannot build it, you're probably not being proactive enough. Okay. Okay, so I will be building a community around USB microphones. Okay, I will show you quickly right now before we end today's session and go into the Q&A. So I'm going to go into my Google browser and I'll show you how to build a community. Okay, so it's so simple to build a community. Okay, all we have to do is just go into Facebook. Okay, how to build a group? I don't even know. Groups on the left, right? And then create new group. That's it. Okay, so before we create a new group, maybe you want to do a bit of research. I'm thinking of creating a group called Content Marketers or Content Creators in Malaysia to be able to, find people who want to create content. Let me see if there's existing groups that called Content Creator Malaysia. Okay, we have Content Writer Malaysia and go to groups. Let me see. Freelance Designer Malaysia, Video Producers, Content Creators, 12K members. Okay. Content Creators. Is this Malaysian? Okay, so maybe not Malaysian. Yeah. Pennsylvania. So quick glance, there's no Content Creators Malaysia group. Let's create one, shall we? All right. I'm going to go back to groups. Okay. Create new group. Super simple. Content Creator Malaysia. Public. Who should I invite? I'm going to create Omar. Invite one guy first lah. Yeah. Okay, create. And basically that's it, right? That's done. We have a content creator now, right? And then I say, hey, in this group, I'm going to be sharing content and tips around creating great content using microphones effectively and whatever, right? And I'm going to take this group and say, hey, all of you, please join this group. Let's start a community that helps each other creating good content. What say you? And that's how you start a community. That's how simple it is, right? I don't know. It's so simple. That's it. Okay, go and join it. I will get you into the group later on. Okay. So of course, I would have to create some guidelines. Oh, in this group, do not spam. What you'll find here, who you'll find here, what you want to do, and more. So yeah, now we have 2 new members. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna spend time publishing this thing, but then this would be in the, this would be in my case study of furbishing this out. You'll learn how I'm going to be furbishing it out, what kind of copy I'm going to be using on a group. It's just that we don't have enough time to spend and show you in this session. But hey, we have 5 new members. That is great. Thank you for joining the community. I hope you create a good community out of this. Okay. Yay, we have 7 members. Yay. When we have 30 members, I'll drop a tutorial on creating good stories in content. Okay. Okay, anyway, enough of jokes. Let's go back to what we are focusing on. Okay. I can't wait to build this into something serious, by the way, to be honest. Yeah, so go and build a community. But remember this quick truth here. If you have a good product, good service, a community will be built no matter what. If you have it bad, you can never be able to build a community no matter how hard you try. That's something that is very true for most communities. Okay, so one good question before I leave you with the Q&A portion is that Cash asked this good question that I've prepared also. So I'm a mind reader, I can read your mind. Community versus email list. Which one is more efficient in your opinion? Now, I believe you should go into email list eventually, okay? So, renter is when you are using something like Facebook. You are using and building a community within Facebook. You are being a renter because you're renting that platform. Now, your job as a business to safeguard yourself is to move from a renter to becoming an owner. Okay. And the only way to become an owner is to collect your own email list. Why? Because this sort of things happens, right? If you run some ads before on Facebook, you'll probably come across this sort of like nightmares when Facebook decides to shut your account down for no reason and all this nonsense. And when you are a renter on Facebook, Instagram, and all these platforms, the big fours, the giants, you are in the mercy of them closing down your account at no moment, nothing given, right? You can't even appeal for it. This thing happens. And by the way, that screenshot you see on my screen right now is basically a screenshot for one of my clients, one of my friends, and it's unfortunate. Facebook disabled his ad account first and then begin to eventually disable his whole account, which is crazy, and we cannot even appeal for it anymore. Okay, he had to create a new credit card for this reason. So you want to go become a renter, move from being a renter into becoming an owner. So yeah, cash, yes, an email list is still important. I believe you should do both of it. So to get started, I recommend all of you to use this thing called Sandbox. Let me just type this down for you. Now, why am I recommending Sandbox is because Sandbox is free to start. Okay. Let me just share my screen again. Sandbox is free. You don't have to pay anything for it for the first 1,000 subscribers or so. What it is it's a email marketing platform that allows you to create opt-ins, and you can start building your email list for free. Okay. So again, we are in still the same topic of RM0 marketing. All right. Cool. All right. So I know I've gone through a lot of things here. I don't want to bound you with more overload of information. But let's go into Q&A. And just a quick recap, Just a quick recap. First of all, you want to use both outbound and inbound marketing. Now, outbound is still equally as important. It has its pros and cons, and don't just rely on inbound. You need to have both of them. So a good example from one of you shared, like Facebook Live. Facebook Live is more of an inbound marketing thing, but when you run ads to get people to join your Facebook Live, that's a bit of outbound. Number two, you want to create content strategically to help people. Don't create for content just to satisfy the search engine, but basically create content to help people and identify what people are searching for by researching what they are asking in forums and then refining that keywords using keyword planners and keyword tools. Number three, make an outrageous offer. You have to do this. The reason for this is because the market is simply too busy, right? You need to have an offer that would get people to turn their head and look at your business, right? If I were to go out in the market selling USB microphones, there will be no difference. All right, what's the difference from buying from Reuben compared to buying from Bernard or whoever, right? It's the same thing. We just choose the best price then, right? But I have to create something that is amazing in terms of offer, not price, but in terms of other types of offer that people will choose me instead of Mr. Bernard, the other store down. Okay. Number four, start a community around your business. Now, as we go on further and further into with business and into the future, right? It's going to get harder and harder to run ads. Ads are going to become more expensive. More and more people are going to become entrepreneurs, and the competition is bigger than ever, fiercer than ever. So the only way to do marketing effectively is to market with your customers, and the way to do that is to start a community, as I've shown you a few examples. Okay, and finally, when you have everything down here, eventually you want to move away from being a renter to becoming an owner. Own your own audience so that you can always hold them in your hands. All right. So thank you again. If you'd like to follow through the whole case study, I'll be actually using the exact techniques, exact strategies I've shown you to build this little USB microphone business and eventually get to 1,000 revenue in 30 days, hopefully. Yeah, whether I fail or whether I succeed, you'll see the whole case study. So if you'd like to follow through the case study, just go to that link right there. And I would send you occasional emails to update you on what's happening and what I've learned, what are the mistakes I did, and lessons in marketing and business. All right, so let's go into some Q&A. I will go and answer some questions right now. Just put them down in the Q&A and let me answer those questions, okay? Thank you, everyone.
Okay, hi, Reuben. Thank you for sharing. So there are a lot of questions in the Q&A box. Okay, so the first question is asked by Johnson. What's your advice on the mix between outbound and inbound marketing?
Okay, advice on mix between outbound and inbound. Okay, I don't really have a exact number, and I don't think it's fair to give an exact number because it will be different for a B2B or B2C business. So I think the best way is to figure out what works for you. So maybe if you see that, okay, inbound marketing is working for you, then put like 70% on inbound marketing and then maybe 20-30 to figure out outbound marketing. But the danger is to put all your eggs into one basket. So don't just put everything into inbound marketing or everything into outbound marketing, because if one fails, then you'll be in trouble. Yeah. So I would say if I had to choose between 80-20 or 70-30, I would say more towards 70-30.
All right, so we go to the next questions. Asked by Norisa. Normally, how long time takes to traffic comes in our website, social media?
Okay, so I think Norisa is referring towards SEO, right? So how long does it take for traffic to come into our website? It really depends on the search demand for the keywords you are ranking for. If you have a huge search demand for that keyword you're ranking for, and you are competing in Malaysia, Malaysia is easy. Yeah. Once you're ranked in Malaysia, you'll see things moving really, really fast. To give you a quick example, I can't show you the right numbers, the exact numbers, but okay, so I'm helping this client called Homa to You. Yeah, let me just do a quick shout out to them. Homa to You is a home improvement platform. They sell, like tiles, ventilation blocks, and all that kind of stuff for you to improve your home and to construct your home. So one of the contents that I helped them with was home renovation costs in Malaysia, I think. Yeah, and you see how they rank first here? That's because in Malaysia, right, it's super easy to rank a content. It'll take you like maybe 1 or 2 weeks if you do it correctly. And yeah, you start seeing traffic coming to your site. The next thing after that happens is to figure out when someone comes to your site, right? How do you get them to become a customer? How do you collect their information or eventually lead them to a customer? Okay. And if you look at it, same thing that I've told you before, the keywords is in the URL, right? I don't use exact keywords within the content, but I answer questions. Okay. Google is an answering machine. Yep. Hope that answers the question.
Okay, let's go for the next questions. It's actually asked by Justin. How to build many backlinks in this short time?
Okay, this is a more advanced question, yeah. So backlinks are basically links that points back to your site. If you are new in SEO, you probably don't understand what that is, but it's okay. Backlinks are basically links from other people who refer back to your site. That's a bad way to put it. People actually put a link from their site pointing to your site. That's a backlink. So the best way to get backlinks is to create something worth sharing. Okay. How would I put it? A different example. I blogged a quick blog post this morning. Okay. Let me show you what's a backlink. Yeah, those of you who do not understand what a backlink is. Okay, so I blogged this morning. I'm trying to blog every few days, so it's a habit that I'm trying to keep up. So you see in this post that I've blogged, right? I have this little link here that goes to Naval, right? That's known as a backlink. But Naval wrote this on a Twitter. So the backlink actually goes to Twitter, not Naval, yeah? But why did I link to him? That's because he created something that I found resonant with me and also is meaningful to me. And that's why when I write, I link it back to him. So if you want backlinks, you have to create something that is worth sharing. And that's the only way to create backlinks. Okay. Yeah. So for example, I might write content. I say, hey, Exabyte has this amazing resource, or Exabyte has this amazing page where you can find like what is the keyword? Yeah, digital day exabytes, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it might be this page. Yeah. So this is a link on Exabytes, right? So I might say like, hey, Exabytes has a lot of content and a lot of talks that I think you might be interested in. So when I write on my blog or my site and I link it back to Exabytes, Exabytes would have earned a backlink from me. And the only way to do that or to get backlinks organically is to be remarkable, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I hope
All
that
right.
answers.
Hope that answer your questions. So let's go for the next question asked by Tom. If we are selling online events or courses and consults to create a superb offer, does it mean we need to stack multiple events or courses or consults and bundle into one offer? Notice that many businesses are selling in that way. Is there a better way?
Mm, okay, so let me just rephrase the question. If you're selling online courses and consultation, yeah, to create a super offer, does it mean we have to stack multiple events, courses, and consultation bundle into one offer? And you notice many businesses are doing that. Okay, is there a better way? So my question to you is that does your prospects see value in that? Okay, so to create a good bundle or create a good offer, right, you have to look at what your prospects want. Is that what your prospect want? For me, if I'm your customer and you are selling online courses and consultation, as a customer, I want a guarantee, right? I want to be safe or I want to be safe. So if I'm spending like maybe like 3,000 or 5,000 on a course and consultation, right? What will reduce my risk? So you might say like, okay, you can take the course for free, and if you don't like it, don't pay us. Then it reduces my risk. So that's something I want. So to create a good offer, right, you have to first listen to your customer, right? We can create offers, but we eventually have to listen from our customer and see what they want at the end of the day. Okay. And one more thing about when you notice a lot of businesses doing that way, one thing that I want to advise everyone here, yeah, is to avoid being an ostrich marketer. Not ostrich, sorry, a copycat marketer. All right. So a copycat marketer is someone who looks at what other businesses are doing and then copies the exact same thing. Now, every business are unique. So your business is different from mine. Mine is different from yours. You have to do it differently, lah. Okay. I hope that helps.
Okay, let's go for the next questions. Asked by YS, does premium still matter?
Freemium in what sense? Why is it still here? You can rephrase that one and give me some context. Freemium in what sense? Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, maybe we can get back to these questions later.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for the next one. Asked by Andy, do you suggest to create a community page in addition to existing Facebook page?
Okay. That's a good question. Thank you for that, Andy. Yes, and yes. So a community page, right, is different from an existing Facebook page for one big reason. Your customers, your prospects can also voice out their own opinions, right? On a Facebook page, they can't. It's just for you. It's like Web.1, And a community page difference is that your customers now have a voice as well, and people like to share their opinions. When I ask you all about our opinions, you guys start sharing because you also love to share. So that's the advantage of a community page.
All right. So the next question asked by CT, is it better to use Facebook group or Telegram group or channel?
Okay, so this is something that I pondered about for a while as well. I've noticed, some even influencers, they have this Telegram group where they broadcast stuff to their to their followers and more. So I think the platform you use, whether it's Facebook, Telegram, or channel, I think when you say channel, you mean like Slack or Discord, right? It really depends on the type of prospects you have. So, for example, if you are in the NFT space, you notice that a lot of them will be building a community in Discord, right? For those of you in the NFT, cryptocurrency, blockchain space, you know that they use a lot of Discord. So it really depends on the type of customers you're looking to reach. Okay, so you have to identify again your customers' style. Do they use Facebook a lot? Do they use Telegram, or do they use something like Discord?
All right. The next question asked by Tony. How to build a community if the product is related to COVID, which is sensitive word in Facebook and easily get banned, like face mask?
Okay. Tony, if your prospects allow it, then I would suggest, you build the community outside of Facebook, right? Maybe use a Telegram group. Yeah, Telegram group would be quite effective.
Okay, the next question asked by Jack. Reuben, would creating a new content to provide answer on an existing subject which was answered a few years ago a good move to boost the SEO as well? Or this will create redundancy in Google search?
Would creating a new content to provide answer on an existing subject which was answered a few years ago a good move to boost the SEO? Yeah, that's a good idea. I think, okay, so one thing that Google likes, right, is they like freshness. So if you can create something that is fresh, that is great. So to give you a quick example of this, right, you know, bodybuilding. Who here just goes to the gym and go for bodybuilding? You know, bodybuilding has existed for a long, long, long time, right? And since the start of Web 1.0, there are a lot of sites about how to get six packs lah, how to get bicep lah, and all that. But yet, today we still have people coming out with content on how to get six packs and biceps. So it's about newer content. So yeah, it makes sense to come up with a new content to answer an existing subject that was answered a few years ago or a decade ago. And yeah, this will actually boost your SEO. It wouldn't actually create redundancy as long as you have new ideas. Yeah.
Okay, YS already clarified the freemium. He said the freemium as in SAS platform, free account registration and experience, pay in later for monthly or annual subscription model.
Okay, now I understand. Okay, so okay, this is a mixed thing, yeah. So when you offer freemium, right, the danger is people don't see the value and they abuse you. So yeah, if you're a SaaS platform and you offer free, free 30 days and all that, sometimes people just abuse your platform. You get a lot of jokers like they don't actually want to pay one. They just want to play around. They're not serious about it. Okay. So I would say freemium if your platform is something like maybe an accounting platform. Once they get on board, they cannot leave anymore because they have to continue using it. Then yeah, a freemium makes sense. Now, what I really like is something like Ahrefs. You're still seeing my screen, right? Yeah. Ahrefs, there's no free stuff one. There's like a free trial, not a trial, but then the trial is just a cheaper trial. So 7 days trial for $7, right? You still have to pay something. So the benefit of doing this, I believe, is when you do this, right, you attract people who are purchasers, who are buyers. You don't attract those cheapos. So again, this is a two-sided thing. Some people might have a different kind of like thought around this. But yeah, I think it makes sense to charge something so that you attract people who are willing buyers. Okay.
Okay, so let's go for the next questions. For beginners, which website building site would you recommend, like Google Daddy or etc.?
Exabytes law.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, go for exabytes. I mean, look at the webinars they're doing here. Look at Cindy and all that. They are very helpful. So if you go to exabytes, I think you'll find a lot of things that would help you to build something, right? And exabytes also has a building tool, right?
Yes, we got a lot of like package and solution for you to
Yeah,
build your website, to manage your online store. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot. So again, I think that a lot of people, they are overcomplicating. Oh, what kind of platform to use? What kind of this and that. But you don't have to worry about that because you should worry more about your business. So that said, you can try things like WordPress and all that. It's easy to get started with. Okay. And Exabytes, I think, is a great partner to do that with, to start your business with.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Reuben. So, Andy would like you to repeat his questions just now.
Okay, so Andy was asking if I suggest creating a community page in addition to a Facebook page. So yeah, so the answer is yes, I believe you should do, because with a community page, right? Now your prospects, people around the business has a voice as well. They can actually comment, they can actually create posts and all that, right? With a Facebook page, you are the only announcer. Most of the posts comes from the business and nothing is from the customers, right? So with a community page, you give an opportunity for people to, chat and discuss, and that creates a community. A community is created when there is dialogues going around, not a one-way kind of thing. Okay.
All right. So the next question, ranging from Reuben out of this marketing Q&A. Since you mentioned about NFT and Discord channel, do Exabyte have any webinars? For Exabyte, do you mean the webinars that's about the channel, or do you mean that do we have any other webinars that talk about marketing strategy? Eugene, are you here? If you are here, maybe you can clarify in the chat box.
Yeah, so for Regine, right, let me assume that you're asking a question, right? So Exabyte has webinars, yes, just like exactly like this one. This is a webinar itself. Yeah. Yeah, so I think we are in a webinar.
Yeah. Yes, and I paste a link about the Exabyte event page. So if you're interested to know more about the webinars in Exabyte, then you can visit our page and we will update all the latest webinars there and you can register over there. Yeah, we do cover different kind of topic, not only marketing strategies, but also about WordPress management. Yes, then you can just stay tuned and yeah, follow our subscribe to our newsletter, then you will receive all the latest webinars from Exabyte.
Okay.
Yes. Right. So is there any more questions? Just now I do saw a questions in the chat box asked by Cash. How is Sandbox compared to Mailchimp?
Oh, okay, that's a good question as well. Now, Sandbox is super simple, very, very simple. It's like very bad, right? This is a Sandbox account that I have, and to send emails, you just have to go into emails and then create an email, write something that you want to write, okay, and then select the list of subscribers that you have. You have a few lists within within your software. So let's say I want to send it to this one, which I have 700 people in there, and say, hey, or whatever, and you just send it like that. So it's very bad, and you don't have all that automation. I mean, you have a few, but it's not very, very complex. I think that's good enough for most businesses, because when you subscribe for something like Mailchimp, it's expensive. Okay, you easily cost you a few $100s a month, and most businesses will use like 20 to 30% of the software. So you're essentially paying extra for things you don't use. So that's why I would say go for something simple like Sandbox, and then when you see a need to do something bigger, right? Then upgrade to that kind of software if you need it. Okay, but Sandbox is very simple compared to Mailchimp. It's very, very simple.
All right. Looks like there's no more questions from the floor, and the time is actually we should end at 3:30, but it's okay because this is a very insightful session, and I believe everyone's enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this session as much as I enjoyed talking for the past 2 hours or so.
Yes.
But yeah, hope to see you all again soon.
Yeah, so thank you so much for Reuben. Thank you for joining with us again. Yes, and yeah, I hope to see you again next webinar, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Reuben, and happy New Year.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, everyone. Have a good New Year ahead, and hopefully we have a more positive New Year in a few days.
Yes.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye, Reuben. All right, so before I end the webinar, right, I would like to let you guys know about something that we will share with you the slide for today's sharing, but we need your feedback. So please help us to fill in the feedback form, which which we will paste in the chat room now. Yes, then I can click in the feedback form link and please leave us feedback, and we will only share the slide for those who had completed the feedback form. So please make sure you completed it. And also we do recorded the whole sessions for today, and we will update the video recording to our YouTube channel once the video is ready, and we will inform you via email. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for everyone for joining with us today, and I hope you enjoyed the session today. Thank you, and I hope to see you in our next webinar, and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Simplified and advantage. Using the power of technology to grow your business online. Exabytes, Southeast Asia's leading all-in-one business, cloud, digital, and e-commerce solution provider.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.
SmarterMail is the cost-effective Microsoft Exchange alternative that includes a secure webmail client that is as functional as a desktop application, personal and shared calendars, complete contact management, including a global address book, cloud-based file storage, real-time audio and video instant messaging, comprehensive reporting, and team workspaces for true team collaboration. In addition, SmarterMail lets you work across all mobile devices, email clients, or desktop clients using all the same protocols Microsoft Exchange offers. The choice is yours.